In this video, we are going to add and subtract polynomials. So in our previous video, we talked about what a polynomial is. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take one polynomial and we're either going to add it to another one or we're going to subtract it. So here's some steps you want to follow. All right. If adding, you can pretty much just drop the parentheses and combine like terms. You know, we reviewed how to combine like terms in the previous video. So if you're adding, you're really just going to add straight across and combine your like terms. What you really have to be careful about is step 2. Right? When you're subtracting, we've done this before. All right? If you are subtracting an entire expression, you need to distribute the negative to every term in the second parenthesis first. Then you can combine like terms. Finally, we're going to put our answer in standard form. So these are some of the problems you could see in your Delta Math practice. Right? In number 1, they might just ask you to find the sum of negative 8x to the third plus 3 and negative 9x to the second plus x minus 3. Well, the word sum means add. Right? So really what you're asked to do is add this polynomial to this one. So I'm taking negative 8x to the third plus 3 and I'm adding it to this polynomial negative 9x to the second plus x minus 3. Okay, well, since I'm adding, if you want to pretend those parentheses aren't there, you can combine like terms. So this is really just negative 8x to the third plus 3 plus negative 9x to the second plus x minus 3. And now I'm going to go through and just combine like terms. Okay, so I have a negative 8x to the third. I don't see any other x to the third, so I'm going to bring that down. Then I have a plus 3 and a minus 3. Well, 3 minus 3, they're going to cancel, so these totally go away. Okay, and then I have a negative 9x to the second. I don't see any other x squared, so I'm going to bring that down. Okay, and then I have this positive x. There are no other x's, so I'm going to bring that down as well. And actually, my answer here is already in standard form. X to the third, x squared, x. There was no constant, so this is my final answer. So if you see the word sum, that just means add your polynomials. It could also just be written as, here's a polynomial plus another polynomial. 4x to the second minus 4x plus 10 plus 2x to the second plus 5x minus 8. So again, you can kind of pretend that those parentheses are not there because we're adding. So this is just 4x to the second minus 4x plus 10 plus 2x to the second plus 5x minus 8. And I can go through and combine like terms. So let's see, I have a 4x to the second and a positive 2x to the second. So that's going to give me a positive 6x to the second. And I'm going to be careful here. That's a minus 4x and a positive 5x. So negative 4 plus 5 is a positive 1x. I'm just going to write it as x. And then let's see, I have a 10, a positive 10, and a minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. And if I look at my answer, it's already in standard form. X to the second plus x plus 2. All right, so that's how we would add polynomials. Now what you want to be careful about is when we subtract polynomials. Right? So subtracting polynomials, I need to do that second step where I need to distribute the negative to everything in the second parentheses. Okay, so if I have negative 3x to the second minus 9x plus 5 and I'm subtracting this entire expression, I'm going to distribute the negative to every term, and there's 3 terms in that second expression. I'm not going to change anything about the first expression. A negative times a negative 2x to the second becomes a positive 2x to the second. A negative times a negative 4x is going to become a positive 4x. And a negative times a 7 will become a negative 7. So basically the sign of everything in the second parenthesis changes. Then you can go through and combine like terms. So I have a negative 3x to the second plus a 2x to the second. Negative 3 plus 2 is a negative 1 x to the second. I have a negative 9x plus 4x. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5x. And then I have a plus 5 and a minus 7. Well, 5 minus 7 is a negative 2. And actually this is in standard form. Negative 1x to the second minus 5x minus 2. Okay. And our last example. Again, you might see in words it telling you to subtract the two polynomials. So it's saying subtract negative 3x to the second plus 4x plus 10 from 2x to the second minus 2x. So this last term is actually going to be the first polynomial. 2x to the second minus 2x. I am subtracting from this my other polynomial, negative 3x to the second plus 4x plus 10. Okay, so I'm subtracting this from this. And again, I need to distribute that negative to everything in the second parenthesis. I don't change anything about the first parenthesis. Negative times negative 3x to the second becomes a positive 3x to the second. Negative times positive 4x becomes a negative 4x. Negative times 10 becomes a negative 10. Now I'm going to go through and just combine like terms. So let's see, I have a positive 2x to the second and a positive 3x to the second. It becomes a positive 5x to the second. See, I have a negative 2x and a negative 4x. Negative 2 minus 4 is a negative 6x. And then I've got this guy at the end, minus 10. It doesn't have anybody to add with, so I'm going to bring that down. And my answer actually is in standard form, 5x to the second minus 6x minus 10. Okay, so there you have it for polynomial addition and subtraction.